Welcome back, everybody, to another podcast.
Hello there.
Ooh, it's there. Hold on. It's been a minute since Demon would
You
do
were
that.
such a waste.
Um, yeah, I couldn't even tell you what the line is.
General Kenobi.
Ah, yes.
It's gracious.
Shut up. Hello, we are back. We are here and accompanied by some liquid courage.
Alcohol.
Let me cover up the brands here because we are not sponsored, and I will not be promoting for free.
Mine's just in a glass cup.
Any whoosies? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
We're tan
Yeah, can you guys
for
tell? Do we look a
our
little darker on camera?
viewers. We just got back from a very exciting anniversary trip to the Dolomites.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for a few days this past weekend. Got back just a few days ago. It was quite the experience.
Yes, I was very. I love sightseeing. I love nature. I love mountains. So it was such a great time. Such beautiful views.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think we mentioned it in the videos we recorded, which, by the way, sorry for not putting them out. I explained in the videos that I just wanted to enjoy my time. I didn't want to, have a nice day out and then commit the rest of my night to editing a video and take away from our 2-year anniversary vacation. So
Yeah.
you guys will see those Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Stay tuned because those are great videos. There were
Mm-hmm.
beautiful views, and everybody should see this.
Yeah. Um, Camera definitely just doesn't do the mountains justice and its natural beauty in person.
Yeah,
It's definitely something you just gotta go out there and see for yourself. But
yeah,
hopefully, you guys can get a little bit of something that we were able to experience watching our videos.
yeah. Tried to show as much as we could as far as views goes, but like she said, it's nothing like seeing it with the naked eye. It's just
It
oof,
doesn't capture it in its
oof.
full glory.
Yeah. If you guys ever have a chance, if you want to go on vacation, if you got some extra money lying around, which in this economy, I don't know who would, but take
Honestly,
that chance. Go to the Dolomites.
yeah. At that point, like I think this is more common. But like people who travel to Europe usually end up doing like a full tour anyways. It's never just to like one spot. So if you have the chance, take the time to just take a little road trip out to the Dolomites, especially if you're going to Switzerland for any reason. Or even I know people go from like Milan to Lake Como to the Dolomites. Like people do a full trip to there, but definitely try to add that into your itinerary if you're bouncing in the area, even if you can just get like a little bit into the Dolomites just to see a little bit of something. It's definitely worth it.
Yep. Yep. I was very grateful to be able to share that with the lovely missus. And
Mm-hmm.
I was especially pleased by being able to have Sky share it with not just between ourselves, but like we got a little guy we're taking care of now. He's part of our family, and he got some really good pictures off. Oof.
Yeah,
He got some
he's.
handsome boy pictures. That's what I'm calling them, handsome boy pictures.
Yep, we made sure to get him some good Instagram worthy
Yep,
pictures.
he got a good number of flicks.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't really know like how dogs' brains work. I hope that he was excited to
Yeah,
be in a different environment or can even tell that it's anything different, even though it's just a bunch of trees and mountains. I don't know what dogs see, but
yeah.
I hope he had fun.
That's one of the reasons why if I ever had to pick like one of those random superpowers outside of the usual like flight and invisibility, dumb shit like that, I would want to be able to communicate with dogs, like know what they're saying and they know what I'm saying. Because I really wonder and I really hope that he enjoyed that.
Yeah, because they're the closest thing to like humans in terms of like how they
I would say
act.
monkey's closer, but
Well, yeah, but I mean like when you look at how we're taking care of a dog, it's the same thing as taking care of a baby. Like you're essentially doing the same thing. And the biggest like roadblock with taking care of a puppy compared to babies is the fact that they don't talk and they can't express themselves and they can't, speak what they think.
Babies can't really do that either.
No, but like when they they can speak. They grow up to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Dogs, we don't get anything, so you never know how they feel or what makes them upset or what makes them happy. So it's hard. That's like the hardest thing is that like you don't know what's going on in their minds, and you just hope that they know they're loved and they're having fun in life.
Yeah. It seemed like he enjoyed it. I mean, he spent a lot of time sniffing around, running around, and just like being curious. So it seemed like he was having fun. And but I really hope he was able to like register the views because I kept picking him up and I'm like, Sky, look, Sky, look
Yeah,
at the
we try
mountains,
to
dude.
point out things to him as if we were, talking to somebody else that was hanging out with
Yeah,
us. Like, look at the mountains, look at the sky, like, look at what we're doing. Because I mean, we did some pretty cool things, like not just the regular driving through the mountains and you're just staring at it. We went up, we hiked, we did some fun little excursion thingies. So I hope he was able to register something up there.
yeah. And there were a lot of animals. Actually, not really. There were two swans in the lake at the place that we stayed at. I
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time like pointing him out, like Sky, look, and he would just kind of stare. I hope in his brain he was like little birds.
Yeah.
Or when we came across the horses, I got him up real close to the horse. Well, not like face to face, but I was within the 2 feet,
Yeah.
and I was like, Sky, look, a horse, look, nee, or whatever horse noises are. He also just stared at the horses, but I I hope he was like horse, yay.
Yeah. I really wonder how they think, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely an experience to say the least. It was very beautiful. Probably one of my favorite. Well, I was talking about this on one of the videos. This trip and our Lake Como trip are just like really up there on my list. They're also just two completely different destinations, so it's really hard to put them at like who's first. But I am more mountains and just out in the middle of nowhere, being secluded from things. He likes, small little villages, water. So Lake Como is definitely his vibe more than mine.
Yeah, I was saying this while we were there in the Dolomites is that Lake Como for me, I think I like it better just because it has more of like that beachy chill vibe. You know, when we went, there were plenty of people like on boats and yachts, and like you could even go rent a boat yourself, which we didn't get a chance to do. Or they have literal beaches like around the giant lake. That sounds like a fun day. And even just like the architecture, the towns, and of course, the villa, the Star Wars villa.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely a big winner for me. But it's not just discredit the Dolomites at all. I am utterly in love with the Dolomites. The towns, the villages, like they were beautiful now. We kept mentioning about how imagine that shit in the winter. It's only a million times better.
Yeah, that's the dream to make it out there. Or I mainly want to go to Switzerland for like Christmas time or winter
Yeah.
time because that's really just something like Christmas movie. But Dolomites are essentially the same as Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah. They're both really, really good, but for me, Lake Como just edges just barely. But we did come to the conclusion that it was definitely better than
Mm-hmm.
Alaska, no matter what.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, as
yes.
much as we love Alaska, yes, one day we plan on living there on like a pretty permanent basis. We plan on potentially, if I go the distance in the Air Force, we always talk about this. We always want to finish out in Alaska and then just fuck off for the rest of our lives from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's just that this is better.
Yeah, it's almost like he was on the phone with his friends the other day and he said like coming back home here from the Dolomites, it makes home look like poopy. Like it's not
Mm.
like as wow, even though we have beautiful views from our window right here in our backyard. Um, it's still beautiful, but when you come back from the Dolomites and see all of that, and then you see this, it's like, eh, I mean, yeah, you're pretty, but like the Dolomites were something else. So
Yeah.
in that perspective, Alaska is it's pretty, it's amazing, but then you look at Dolomites, there's just something. It's different. It's more rocky mountains compared to like tree mountains.
Yes. Although there was a fair amount of
There
the
were plenty of
bushy tree type of
yeah.
mountains, but there was what's the
Dolomites
word?
is more rock
Yeah,
and like
primarily no, predominantly.
hmm
Yeah, predominantly the
I think
rocky type.
primarily could have also worked.
Yeah. Either way, I'm just trying to sound smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it, I don't know what your perspective was, but you know me. I look at views like that. I look at the world from that top of the view, and I'm like, bruh, God did. He cooked. Come on, man. That seeing shit like that just proves it all for me. Like, there's no way things like that are here by accident. Oof, um, oof. You guys need to go. That's all I can say. You guys need to go see that shit for yourself. Go to the Dome. What town were we in?
We the main base that basically everybody
Base.
kind of yeah, base town.
Anytime I hear base, I'm like military base.
No, like the main home base like that you want to come out of or go to, which I kind of saw all over the place. And I originally tried to get around that area, but we just steered away. Um, the town is Ortiz or Ortiz. I think it's Ortiz. But that's essentially where majority of anybody who's traveling to the Dolomites kind of stay in or at least near, because from there is where most of everything is happening. And if not, then it's at least like maybe 30, 40 minutes out from there. And the main like mountain range or the lifts that you take to the mountain range come out of Ortiz. So
Yeah.
we had to drive a little bit, like an hour and a half at least to get over there, but we saved the town and anything that we were going to do there for the last day when we were leaving. So that way it was just kind of on the way and we weren't making a long drive in the middle of the week for nothing.
Yeah. But the town specifically we stayed in was Marebe, I think. I literally showed the chalet that we were staying at because I think if you want to go to the Dolomites, that's a great place to be. I mean, I've already said a couple of times, I think, in these last few minutes that we had a lake view, a mountain view. There were swans. Swans were cool. There was a
Ron Swanson.
big, yeah, Ron Swanson. There was a female and a male. They were just beautiful, beautiful swimming along the lake and flying around. And there was also a big ass field that Sky took advantage of. Took a lot of peas and poops in.
Yeah, he was
Um,
the only pup. Well, there was another pupper there, but we never saw it. We
yeah, we
just
did never see
heard
it.
it
I,
bark at
I,
a random point.
I'm pretty sure that pupper either they left as we got there or they were just there for dinner one night.
Oh, I don't know.
Because people do that. A restaurant will literally be in a hotel, and you don't even have to go to the hotel to be at the restaurant. You can just pull up.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a case of that. But yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure I showed it in the videos. I'll make sure to keep it in so you guys can see it and maybe stay there one day because that place is beautiful. The people there were very nice, very helpful. They were great, super duper awesome. And yeah, I mean, I would go back there, but probably the next time we're gonna go is maybe staying towards the Ortiz town,
Yeah.
and the next time we go is probably gonna be more of a winter type thing.
Mm-hmm.
See the towns in the snow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Dolomites, good stuff. Go see the world.
I will say that right now I am in a state where like I want to fully commit to a camping life. I was just like earlier
Oh my god, she
that
gave me the most ridiculous bullshit of wants this
okay, but
morning.
this is like well, first of all, my first want was a black stone, but that's still like pushing it. All I ask for is a simple grill because we have this beautiful backyard that we do not take advantage of. And I think, just a little simple barbecue in the backyard every weekend, every other weekend, I don't know, just something would be nice. But, the Blackstone is the dream because, yeah, the Blackstone. That was my first one. Second, I recently came upon this video of a rooftop tent for your car, and it piqued my interest. And because we're out here and we travel a lot, I think it's a good investment. They are very pricey. They are a couple $1,000s,
Yeah, no shit.
but I think that's definitely worth it considering how much we plan and like to travel, especially to like mountainy areas. And the plus is like literally just park your car somewhere and you're done. Like, and you have such a beautiful view. Like when we were driving throughout um the Dolomites, or like just driving around or whatever, you would see like vans parked every so often in some random spots, but like the views are beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth the investment considering how much we plan to travel, and why not? I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
I did say like no, I'm not expecting that like give it to me next month or like for my birthday. I said like in the long run because it is a very pricey thing. So
yeah.
let's
And if we have thousands of dollars to just kind of dispose of,
yeah,
if
it's not something that we're just gonna go and buy at some
I'm,
random point.
look,
I just think it would be a nice investment, and I think it would be fun to like just commit to that kind of life, especially out here.
sure. I mean, it sounds all good, and it's a one-time expense versus the multiple hotels that we stay in when we road trip.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, I've mentioned it a lot. I make pretty good money out here. I just don't know if I like seeing that much money go out of my account at once. That's my thing. I hate spending money. I hate spending lump sums of money on top of that.
Yeah, but like we we spent a good chunk of money when when we left Alaska for our anniversary because we decided to do a little trip to Alaska and like massage resort things before we left. That was our Christmas and anniversary gift to ourselves. That was at least 2,000, but we just split it.
Yeah, we split it, and then we also, or at least I did. I had some money put to the side to be able to just splurge.
Yeah, but the tent that I was looking at is around 3,500. So just that one trip was already basically the amount of the tent.
Except for the other 15, almost double the price.
Yeah, but 2,000 is still more than the little bit extra that's after that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a good investment. I think it would be fun.
We can look into it some, give it some time, save up some money, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any whoosies? Let's get on to our itinerary of this podcast.
Yes, we've already kind of done two of the itineraries.
I think Sky farted.
I think he did too. Sky, dude, he releases the most vile, diabolical farts when
Yeah,
he's sleeping.
he definitely did. I got that specific stench.
It is like my rotten eggs times 1,000.
I recently saw on TikTok that seems to just be like a Staffy Pipple thing where their
It's
farts
diabolical.
are just terrible. Because I was reading comments
No.
through some videos, and they were like, "Yeah, Staffies are great, but their farts
Yeah.
are just something else."
I mean, like I just said, I have some howlers myself.
His are no skies are.
Skies are on a different level. And DNA here, she has her moments. She has her moments. They're far and few in between. But she has her moments. I have my fair share. But this guy, like, I have some farts that don't stink horribly. He does not miss. He is
Yeah,
10 out of 10 from the field. 100% shooting at diabolical farts.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like it's like we will just get nasty farts depending on what we eat. He
Yeah,
eats the same thing 24/7, but his poops are or farts are just disgusting.
yeah. Maybe I don't know. I maybe we should actually look into it because maybe it's a dietary issue. Just like whenever I have chocolate or some random disgusting dairy.
Well, like I said, it seems to be a pretty general thing because literally everybody in the comment section of this one video that I found was talking about like the farts. That's just they're
It
terrible.
could be, yeah. But no, it's incredible. Like anytime he farts, he does not miss. It will be disgusting whether you like it or not. He has not had one tolerable fart.
Yeah, and he can be a little bit farther away from you. It'll hit you.
Yep, yep. And it was especially horrible this weekend
Oh my
because
god.
we're in the Dolomites. We're doing a lot of road tripping. Where we were staying was at least an hour from anything we wanted to do. So hour out, hour back. 3 hours there from our house, 3 hours back. Like, dude, anytime we were in the car, I had to open them windows. I had to get the
At
AC
least like
flowing.
5 times a car
Oh,
ride.
God. But you know what? We love him. He's coming along well, by the way. I think,
Yeah, he's getting there.
yeah, he's getting there. Today, it seems like while I was at work, he's been displaying some good behavior. It's just, whenever I come home, he starts to get a little active. He wants to play, which is
Yeah.
fine. But like he's starting to get his place in the house.
Mhm.
So training's going well. He knows how to do stuff. He's, I think, little by little, he's definitely losing some of that like fuck you kind of attitude where we're trying to talk to him and he just doesn't listen.
Yeah, I guess so. This morning I was washing the dishes and I decided now we're kind of like letting him out of the playpen a little bit more often to get him
Yeah,
familiar with the house and what not to do around the house.
yeah,
So this morning I let him be outside of the playpen while I was doing the dishes. Um, and every now and then he would just come to me and try to bite my ankles and I'd just be like, Sky, go to your bed. And he would go to the bed. Or if I heard him
yeah,
on the couch, normally when you try to get him off the couch, he gets extreme zoomies and just tries to attack you. But this whole time this morning, whenever I would go up to him, I'd either just tell him directly, like, go to your bed, and he'd actually listen, or I will look at him, and normally if you try to touch him, he will, like, directly just try to attack your hand. But he would just lay there and he'd let you touch him. So I think he's getting there slowly.
yeah. He's definitely displaying good behavior. It's just, he's still a puppy, so he's gonna have his moments of just like, nah, fuck what you say. I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
But
As long as we're, staying on the discipline,
yeah,
then he's fine.
yeah, he's doing good. He's taking a nap right now, by the way. That's why we were just talking about the fart because he just let one out.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, back to the itinerary that we didn't even start with. We did the first two things, cool. Now the third thing here, I got marriage life dash. How's it been?
Yeah. Um. Oh, we didn't exactly say, but we are on, or we just had our 2 year anniversary of being married.
Pretty sure I said that, but yes,
Oh,
two
maybe.
years on June 17th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sky, he did it
Again,
again. God,
it hasn't hit me yet.
Jesus. Anyways, yeah, June 17th. We got married 2 years ago, and yeah, I think it's been going well so far.
Yeah, I I think things are just kind of starting now.
Yeah, life
We're
is starting.
yeah, we were saying like we just finished our free trial. Like now, like yeah, we kind of jumped into life really fast, really young. Um, but I think now we're in this spot where it's like this is life now. This is
Yeah, it's
what
starting to
we're
happen.
doing.
I mean, we got the dog, so now we have an extra life on our hands, a little extra responsibility, something that takes our time.
Hmm.
Um,
And we said that was gonna be the our first step to
yep,
having kids.
yep, yeah. We've said it a few times. Uh, we're gonna get this dog, this pupper Sky, trained up for the next like year, year and a half, and then A little bit after that, be popping out some kiddos, get the
Mhm.
get the actual family going, get some offspring, expand the DNA pool. You know,
Yeah.
gonna get it going.
Mhm.
Um, Very exciting, very scary, because it's parenthood, it's life. Like you can't really ever be ready for that kind of shit. So it's scary, but like it's definitely very exciting. This is the life that I've always dreamed of. She has also been wanting kids young, so we're
Yeah.
both just looking forward to it. Honestly,
Mhm.
no matter how scary it is, we are looking forward to it.
Yeah. I think right now it's definitely like we're at a point where we're kind of seeing like how fast and how soon things can start happening. And we kind of already put a timeline on when we want to start trying and having kids. So I think seeing that and seeing how fast the past few years have been is kind of putting it in a like this is real. Like, oh shit, this is actually like happening. It's not just a yeah, we're gonna have kids, and then you don't really think about it. Now it's like we put a timeline on it. We have ideas,
Yeah,
and it's not too far away. It's not too soon, but I think it's gonna go by fast.
I mean it definitely will. These 2 years of marriage have raced by.
Yeah, us being
Our whole
together
yeah,
has gone by really
our whole
fast.
everything has gone by fast. I mean, we were just weren't we just talking about it like this morning or sometime within the last like couple days? Just like my BMT time and like how we've changed since then.
Hmm.
Was that one of the recent
That
podcasts?
might have been the last podcast that we just did.
Oh yeah, the one about our full explicit story. If you guys haven't seen that,
Yes,
go see it.
it is a lengthy one, but
Yeah,
it'll go by fast if you're busy.
yeah. Yeah, no. And right now, I'm especially starting to have like Snapchat memories pop up. Um, I'm officially going to hit my 4 year mark of being in the military, in the Air Force here in July, at the end of July. So, like, this is just kind of the time of year where I start looking back and I'm just like, damn,
Yeah,
time has passed. Like,
shit has really
I'm
passed.
really about to hit 4 years in the Air Force. And from the looks of it, I might not be done as soon as I want it to be, but I've always expressed it. I'm perfectly fine with extending my contract, making some more time out of this, and I don't know, in my opinion, having the most secure job of anybody, making pretty good money, living a fun life abroad, so
Hmm.
no complaints.
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting. It's been, I think, I wouldn't say that our marriage really went through anything too crazy compared to like before we got married. I think we tried maybe the beginning, the like first few months, just because obviously that was when we first moved in together and you're still, you have to learn how to live with the other person. It's a different lifestyle. We were also, living in Alaska. So I think the first few months it was more of a little bit of trial and error, but it wasn't as rough. I think, at least, I don't know.
No, it was pretty rough.
Compared to when we were dating, though,
Well, no,
beforehand.
not nearly. I mean, it was kind of like what happened during our dating, just on a shorter scale. Because our bullshit of dating lasted about a year. And then in those last few months, or actually, we had a good 6 months, a bad 6 months, and then a good 3 months, and then a bad 3 months leading up to our marriage. Which, looking at it that way, doesn't exactly paint a good picture for getting married. But, like, trust me, guys, we had it in the bag. It's just,
Yeah.
we were long distance dating. Things go wrong, especially things go wrong in a normal dating relationship. Put it long distance with like a 4 hour time difference, like dude, it was stress.
Yeah. And also just the military life in general, having to adjust to a schedule, me being, or having to get used to his life now
Yeah,
was definitely, not easy at that time.
yeah. And then we talk about this a lot. She was in a toxic relationship. I had never been in a relationship, so it's just like there was a lot of things not going in our favor, but it was a learning curve for everybody. She learned how to get out of toxicity. I learned how to even be in a relationship, and I feel like I have a pretty good head on my shoulders that I was able kind of to lead us through the rough. And yeah, uh, those first few months of her being in Alaska, I mean, she just said it. It's pretty rough. I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
adjusting to her moving across the country to Alaska, that was an adjustment in itself because I mean, I know very well what that's like moving away from friends and family on a permanent basis. That's fucked. Then we were going into winter. Winter in Alaska comes with seasonal depression.
Yeah.
So that hit her pretty hard. Um, and then obviously, we had never lived together before. The most amount of time we spent together was maybe a couple weeks anytime we would see each other on vacations.
I think just the 2 weeks that we had when I went to Alaska the first time,
Yeah,
that was the most.
yeah, that was the most. Yeah, she visited for my birthday, the very first time she came to Alaska.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, just 2 weeks. That's the most time we had ever spent together. And then now she's, we're suddenly living in a house together. We're married. That like the whole life is changing. So yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely it kind of re-aggravated the, I guess, toxic wounds because she kind of slipped back into some bullshit, and I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, what are we doing? And then, like she said, um, adjusting to my actual lifestyle because me being in the military, I have a time frame. Look, at the time I was working swings, so I'm starting work at 3 p.m., getting off at 11
Yeah,
p.m.
that was not fun.
Yeah, to start, it was so not fun for her. She'd be missing me all day. Then she's getting frustrated that she's missing me all day. Then she'd try to take it out on me, and I'm like, "Hey, you can't fucking do that because this is a life. Get used to it. Like, come on, piss or get off the pot kind of thing. You cannot be acting this way." Ugh, I always laugh at the whole toaster oven thing. That shit was hilarious. It could have ended a lot sooner if I didn't antagonize her. Because I don't know, I found it hilarious that she was really going off about this bullshit. I knew the reason why it was really happening, but I'm just like, dude, we're talking about a toaster oven. Shit was so stupid, but that was a result of her missing me, and she chose to take her anger out over a fucking toaster oven.
Long story short, for the people who haven't heard the story before,
Yeah,
he was at work all day, getting home, wanted some chicken nuggets. He wanted them to go in the toaster oven. I said, put it in the microwave. It's quicker. It's gonna taste the same. Just let's put them in the microwave and let's go upstairs so we can spend time together.
but when she told me to put them in the microwave so that it would quote unquote take a shorter time, the difference is what, maybe a minute or two. On the way, we were having this conversation over text while I'm on the way home. I'm like, dude, come downstairs, and then while my shit's in the toaster oven, you can chill with me in the kitchen and we can talk about the day and, interact with each other because I know that's what she wanted so much. She refused. She's like, no, I don't want to go downstairs. Well, I was like, well, sucks for you then, because I want better quality nuggets from a toaster oven where they're freshly, what is baked, toasted?
Toasted, I
Yeah,
guess. They're just a
freshly.
little crispier.
Yeah, they're just crispier. They're more fresh instead of a microwave where you put them in there. They were just in the freezer, so now they're a bit soggy, and it's just like it's not as good. I had had a long day of work. I just wanted some fucking good nuggets, and then she comes out with this bullshit about I don't even you try to go from there.
I was look, this was the point where it's like this was a time that we were, or at least I was struggling with how his schedule worked and like how inconsistent it was because obviously the military, it's like, no, you're not going to get off right when you're supposed to. Some nights are going to go late, some nights go early. It is what it is. So during this time is when I'm kind of adjusting to that. And also, I was working at this point. Was I
No,
working?
you weren't working yet.
Are you sure? No,
No,
because I'm pretty sure I was already working by the time we got into the house.
you weren't working for the first. Or yeah, you were working by the time we got into the
Yeah,
house.
I
You're right.
think, yeah, I was
Oh,
already,
then
because
yes, that's another factor right there.
I was working like 2 weeks after I had got back.
Yeah, that was another factor right there is that she was working, so there'd be days where she's home. I'm not, of course, but then there was
Yeah,
a
our
very
schedules.
few days where I'm home and she's not.
Yeah, our schedules would flip flop, and we would get lucky if I would have a closing shift and just get home when he would. But
Yeah.
this was one of the days where it's flip flopped. So I just want him to be home. I want to spend time together. I want to watch our show, do our thing. Um, so I was just not in the mood for anything.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't in the mood for it either because, like I just said, I had had a long day of work that day. Now she's coming up with this bullshit about not letting. She wasn't letting me take like maybe a minute longer with the toaster oven than the microwave, and that's really what set her off.
I
And
guess
this whole time, I'm like, dude, I literally told you to come downstairs. Well, I don't want to come downstairs. All right. Well, I tried to meet in the middle, right? I tried to meet in the middle. She wanted to spend time. I offered time spending. I wanted the toaster oven. She could have at least conceded me that because I gave her her time. She didn't take it. So after that, I just kind of started antagonizing her. I'm like, dude, we're talking about a toaster oven. We're talking about a toaster oven. You sound goofy. And then eventually, obviously, it pissed her off. So it's not about the fucking toaster oven. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I know. But if you want to talk about the real reason you're mad, talk about that. Get off the toaster oven.
yeah. So that was that.
Yeah, she ended up slamming the garage door and like driving off to wherever she drove off to. I remember laughing as she was walking out because I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And I enjoyed my nuggets. I'll have you know, them bitches were good.
I had McDonald's.
Oh, well, there you go.
I
She had
enjoy I
McDonald's.
enjoyed my French
I
fries.
enjoyed my toaster oven nuggets with my special sauce, ketchup, hot sauce, and honey.
We need to get back on that.
We do need to get back on that. We haven't had that since before leaving Alaska.
It was probably a while before that too,
Yeah,
because it wasn't really too often that we had nuggets in the house.
yeah.
But we definitely haven't had nuggets in this house
Mm-hmm.
or special sauce or
Not even
anything.
once.
We don't even have ketchup right now. Actually, now that I think
Yeah,
about
we
it.
don't. That's weird.
Anyways,
Yeah, I know it might sound weird. Hot sauce, honey, and ketchup. Don't
uh,
what
hot
what
sauce.
don't
Oh, you did say hot sauce.
yeah,
Sorry.
don't knock it till you try it, okay?
No, it's
Put it
good.
together, mix it up. Here's what I normally do, right?
It's just like sweet and spicy.
Yeah, it's basically sweet and sour, except without the sour, you just substitute sweet or no.
Spice
Just
sour for spicy.
yeah, sour for spicy. Yeah, English. Sky, he did it again. God. You stink, dude.
Yeah, that butthole is ripe.
Yeah.
Um, where were we going with that story? Oh,
The
just talking about life.
yeah, the point
Um,
of that whole bit is to show like those first few months of moving in were kind of rough because we were
which was the first few months of us getting married.
yeah, we were back to like the dumb arguments that we would have during our long distance relationship.
Yeah.
So we kind of took a step back. But then, like I said, yeah, it is
It's so
gross. It is
stinky.
gross. We or she fell into a bit of her seasonal depression because Alaska winter, it's always dark. And then eventually I was able to or she was able to agree to come to the gym with me and then things kind of progressed from there. She was feeling better. We kind of got back to a normal homeostasis and honestly since then it's been vibes. We've been having a good time in life. What?
Homeostasis?
Yeah, like we equal out. We
Is
went
that
through some
even what
bullshit when you first.
homeostasis means?
Huh?
Is that even what homeostasis means?
Yes, it's like bringing back. Literally, look. I definitely use that right. It just sounds weird because how do you spell homeostasis? Uh-huh. Look. Homeostasis, the tendency toward a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent the elements bullshit. But that's the point right there. Stable equilibrium as in balance.
Okay,
Yeah, we got back to
sure.
a good place. She felt better. I was finally relieved that she felt better because she just like, ugh, you really put me through. I had to deal with a. I had, needed to have a lot of patience during that time.
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, no, it's really been good times ever since. Really happy days.
Yeah. Um Now we're just kind of at a point where like if shit comes up, deal with it in the moment and nothing goes past like 30 minutes and you move on with life.
Except sometimes that's not even true because we do have our moments where it kind of drags out a little bit. But yeah, we do try to keep.
Not too often though.
Well,
Like
no,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
very rare
It's
that
very
that
very rare,
happens.
but we're not perfect. We're gonna have our moments where it's just kind of like hard to talk about something, or it takes a minute for us to cool off or whatever.
Yeah.
So
But uh, the the main point here is the fact that like we know how to deal with it now. It's not so
yeah,
much like we're just butting heads the whole time for a few days and getting nowhere. Now it's like if shit happens where like it really is something that's going to take a little bit, we know like okay, let's just give it time to blow over, then we'll come back, let's talk, and then we move on.
yeah,
It's not like, well, let's ignore each other, let's butt heads, let's argue, let's yell. No, it's you just give it time, communicate, and then everything's back to normal.
yeah. Actually, it's funny because we've never, aside from that toaster oven thing. Actually, I don't think we've ever like really yelled at each other since being married.
Mm,
I cannot recall one time other than the toaster oven.
Halloween.
Oh yeah, but that was within that same time frame, I believe.
Well, yeah, but that's still
Yeah, well then that's two times.
something.
Even then, those were at the
I
very,
think
very
I
beginning of
think
our marriage.
that was the worst compared to toaster oven
No,
because he
that
almost left.
I didn't almost leave as in divorce, guys. Let's
No,
chill
no,
out.
no. He almost left the house to
Yeah, I
go
almost
stay
went
by
to go
himself.
stay at Lynn's house because she really did me in that night.
Hmm. Yeah,
Actually, I don't even remember what that was about.
I don't either.
See, all I know is that you really, really pissed me off with some bullshit. Like for me to want to get up and stay at somebody else's house for the night, you definitely were on some bullshit. Because I don't ever, I don't ever play about, you know, shit like that. I don't. That's not like me to do that. So for me to have had to do that, you really had to be.
I don't know. I think I was just yelling too much because I was yelling for a good period. I was
I
yelling
mean,
that whole time.
we were both yelling, but I think you just weren't getting it. Like whatever I was trying to say, you just weren't getting it. So we kept going in circles, and then you kept like you just kept bullshitting. So I'm like, you know what? You got it. I'm out.
Yeah, that was not a fun night. That was definitely the worst it's ever been
Yeah.
and we'll ever get. But yeah, um, we know how to communicate properly, so
Yes, we do now.
that's good. Um, Other than that, marriage life is great as of right now.
Yeah. As of right now. I'm just kidding. No, it's going very well. I'm very grateful, very happy. I mean, I say it a lot. This is like the life I've always dreamed of. I've always wanted to be married young, start a family young, and just like do shit like what I'm doing right now young, because I think that's the best time to do it. All this like this whole stigma nowadays that you might have to wait till like you're 30 or you gotta fuck around in your 20s, like respectfully, of course. Fuck you, all of you that say that. I don't I don't know how else to say it. Like I think you are wrong because in the way of life that we're living right now, um we're making our way. We're making our future. If you go your 20s fucking around catching bodies, and I don't mean the murder kind, if you're being a hoe in your 20s, if you're just doing whatever until you're like 30 and then you decide to settle down, like you've already built up your way of living for the past, well, 18 counts, so we'll say 10, 12, maybe even 15 years. You have your way of living. It's hard to fit somebody into that. Now, it's not impossible. Obviously, people do it all the time. That's why at some point it's now kind of the suggested way of life. But I don't know. That's also a lot of time that you miss out on being able to live life with somebody. And I hate the idea of that because,
Yeah, I know a lot of people who are definitely within their 25 to 30-year old who are just still like not even settled.
yeah,
And that scares me cuz like I think like for them because I personally would be terrified if I was in their position to like not have a partner or not have like something
yeah.
settled. It's
'Cause
kind of scary cuz you're already hitting the point where like at least for women like
I was about to say that,
you only have so
you're on a
much
clock.
time to have kids. And I already just never wanted to be an older parent. I've wanted to have kids young, like he said. So being in that position where you're already 25 and older and still just like not even with anybody, you don't really have like a set family plan going, like that's scary cuz I just yeah, no. Which is weird because before this definitely wasn't the life that I ever imagined for myself.
Oh,
Like if
I had it.
yeah, I know you
I had
did.
it pictured to a T.
But like I mean, I've always said and I've always wanted kids young, but like as I've mentioned multiple times, I had a set career and I there was no really like telling where that was going to take me, where I was going to be and how old I was going to be when I was going to start settling down and with who and just all that. I knew that things were going to happen at some point, but there wasn't, a set plan.
That's
So
funny.
this definitely just like wasn't in my mind at all. Yes, when we were best friends, I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to be together. But like, if you would have told me that we were going to be living in Italy and having kids within the next year and a half, and that would have been like, what the hell? Because that's just not anything that I had planned. Even though that's what I've wanted my whole life, but because I had other set plans, it was more of like, well, we'll just kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
that's
very thankful to have everything set in place now.
yeah. It's funny. You say you wanted kids young and whatever, but like nothing, like there was no part of your life plan originally that would have solidified or even made the time for it, honestly, because you would have been super duper occupied in your own world, in your
Yeah.
career, trying to do whatever you were trying to do. There was going to be no time for that, especially the way you
Yeah.
were going as a person.
Well, gee, thanks.
I mean, is what you're going to tell me I'm lying? You say you want kids and shit early, and no part of who you were with that plan was going to make room for that.
I mean, no, but it was also I don't know.
Maybe by
It's
accident,
it's
but
shut up. It's hard to say because there's like still not right now, but like at a certain point in my life, there was a point where it's like, yeah, I know I'm gonna have kids, but I don't care. Like my career right now is what I was focused on, and that was what was more important to me at the time until this relationship happened, and then it was like, yeah, I want kids young. I really don't want to wait that long. So it's I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I was on both sides. I was on the side where like I'm very career focused. I want to make sure I get to like the highest I can be and have my family set. And then now I'm here where it's the complete opposite.
yeah, in some way, I feel like you're kind of proving the speech of the Chiefs kicker.
Well, I mean, I said my points on that. Like obviously being a mom is a important thing in life and that's like a goal for I think majority of people is to, have a family and things. So coming into this relationship and being married and going through the initial steps of wanting to start a family, yeah, things start kicking in and like that's all you really focus and that's all you want. Like now I just want a little baby.
Yeah. Well, we have one, and he's stinky.
Well, aside from him, now I want to move on to the next steps. that we
Yeah.
have set up.
But
But
that's what I'm saying. Like that sense of excitement and fulfillment and ultimate purpose in life. That's what's his name? Harrison Butker?
I don't know.
I don't know his name. Honestly, I'm not that much of a football guy. I just pay attention to the Super Bowl. I like football. I used to play the sport. I'm just not really an NFL kind of guy. But his speech really, y'all who you guys that had a problem with it are the problem in my opinion. I think that what he was saying was completely and utterly valid. Yes, some things could have been worded differently, but there was definitely no malice, no misogyny, none of that you guys were trying to hype it up to be. All the videos of the women like clapping back on TikTok, like, oh, I'm doing this and sound like idiots. Honestly, you get goofy.
Yeah. And I don't want to speak too much on that because we already got into it. But
Yeah,
I still see both sides because, like I said, I was in the position of where I was on one side and I'm on the other, but I can still see the other side because there is that part of me that still wants that in a way. But yeah, I won't get
I
into
mean,
that.
if you want to, you can go get it. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
I've always told you I'm not in no way, shape, or form that I ever want to get in your way.
Yeah, I know.
So I told you multiple times before you got married. You better think hard about it because I don't want to stop you from your dreams. But if you make this choice, you know that you are making a sacrifice. So in the end, it really will just fall back on you. And I hate to even say it like that, but
Mm-hmm.
can't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. If one day, like your friend, she just up and decided, hey, I'm gonna do this, join the army.
Mm-hmm.
She can do it. You can too. I have no oppositions.
Yeah. Well, that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah. Uh, I'm guessing this fourth thing here has to do with your dream.
Oh, this it didn't,
So
but then
stupid.
like time wise, it just made sense.
Subconsciously, I think that's definitely what just happened.
What do you mean?
Because I feel like subconsciously, the reason you wrote this down is because, oh well, I just had this dream last night.
No,
So
well, it. Hold on, because I thought of this because I was on TikTok and I was just like following. I wasn't like in a deep hole of this topic of things, but then it just kind of made sense because of my dream, and I was like, you know what? Now's the perfect time. So like I didn't write down the note because of my dream. I wrote it down because I was already thinking about that. And I was like, "Oh
well, that's what
wait,
I'm
that
saying.
also happened in my dream." So this makes sense. Let's do it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
subconsciously, it was a connection.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So this topic, obviously, guys cheating slash thoughts. Um, Fairly simple conversation for me, so I'll make it quick. Guys cheating. Well, people cheating, men or women. No, that's my thoughts.
Yes, but there's a reason why I said guys cheating specifically. Now, the reason or the stuff that got me up to this point was because there's been a video going around on TikTok of a very famous, not famous, it's a very known couple. The male went onto a podcast and was talking about some things in terms of like what what being a provider means in terms of the man and their relationship. And he basically like shit on what the what's the word? Oh god, I'm brain farting. The back then times. Traditional.
The back then
Yeah.
times.
You couldn't
Oh
think of
my
couldn't
god.
think of the word. He was basically saying like well, there's no point in the traditional way of doing things because why? Like he was saying it in a way that like I don't think that that's true, and was just talking about like and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was just saying like my definition of being provider is like what I do in the house and not so much financially, and then financial things come later and blah blah blah, whatever.
What does that even mean?
He but the main thing here was that people were shitting on him and then going to shit on the girl because she's like what are you doing? Leave this man because clearly he doesn't know what to do in a relationship and you're better. So that's what started this whole thing was because the main thing that triggered everybody was him saying like no, taking care of things financially does not mean you're a provider. Like that should be out of the door. That shouldn't even
So what
exist.
else are you providing?
I'll have to show you the video later because he does go in depth into like other things and explaining himself in terms of finances and that whole thing. But that sparked my thought of this guy's cheating thing somehow. I don't
The
know
same
how.
guy?
No, he's not cheating. I'm just
Oh,
saying that whole conversation kind of sparked up what I was thinking so long ago, and then now we can talk about it. Um, every or majority of videos that I see of people talking about like guys cheating or whatever, there's so many guys who say, "Well, it's just nature." Like if guys are gonna cheat, guys are gonna cheat. That's why I said specifically guys cheating and your thoughts on that because you claim to be so against it, but majority of men are also just, well, that's just how guys are, so it's going to happen. And I came out of a family
mm,
where that was essentially the excuse for it.
so the whole nature part of it all, I mean, I don't agree with it, but like I know what they're saying, right? So what they mean by that is, by nature, it is our job as the male species, much like it is for a human, as it is for a dog or a monkey or a bird, spread your seed. Now, does spreading your seed to the max extent possible mean do it at any cost, even at the cost of your relationships or marriage or kids, family? Like, no, no, that's not okay. If you have committed to a relationship, you stay in that fucking relationship. You could spread your seed by doing it with the same person forever. Literally just impregnate her back to back to back. Like, if that's what it takes. If you want to spread your seed, just bang her directly after giving birth. Or, well, I guess you need that little grace period
Yeah.
to let the vagina heal. So after that grace period is over, to let the vag heal, get right back to it. And if that's something, because a lot of people do that. There
Oh
are lots of
yeah.
families out there in first world countries, third world, or not even really on the map countries. Like, dude, there are plenty of families in this world. Literally, one of our favorite people in Alaska,
Yes.
she has a million eight kids,
Something like that.
eight, nine
And
kids,
like five dogs.
and $1 million. Like, dude, if you want to spread your seed that fucking bad, you can do it with one person. Yes, by nature.
Yeah, but like they're not doing it in terms of impregnating people. They're just doing it because they're fucking horny and just
Well, that's what I mean, right? So they're just using that nature aspect as an excuse of, oh yeah, it's in our nature. We're supposed to, just like it's your job to bear my child. Like, no, dude, it's a weak ass excuse. You're just a fucking idiot. You're a fucking man whore. Shut up. If you want to have sex that bad, you can find one person, just like I did, and kind of do it whenever. Because if you're endlessly playing this game of trying to get a girl, you're just a loser when you can try, succeed, and then just kind of have unlimited access to the same person forever. And that I find that, dude, what are we talking about? Are we serious right now? I because I have seen that. A lot of dudes do say that. It's nature. We got to
yeah,
spread our
it's like
seed.
it's said in a way like you just gotta accept it. Like you gotta know what you're dealing with type way.
Yes.
And that's fucked.
And another, I've seen this as well, is that they say, for the large part of human history, it has been the male's job to, be powerful, successful, strong. It is not frowned upon for a male to have like 10, 12, 15 wives and then a million kids with them. But then on the flip side, for the large part of human history, quote unquote, female promiscuity is frowned upon. I think promiscuity of any kind should be frowned upon. Just because it's, you know, the large part of human history doesn't make it right.
Mm.
And, you know, I guess I don't want to misquote, but I'm fairly certain, biblically speaking, you're just meant to be with the same partner. You wed, you bear children, happy life. Like, I, I, I really, it makes me sad to see shit like that. Because, there will be dudes who talk like that, but on the flip side, you'll have all kinds of women that just make their excuses feminism and bullshit to excuse to be a whore. So everybody's just looking for an excuse to be horny. Like, dude, control your dick, keep it in your pants, and ladies, keep your legs closed. Let's if you want to have kids, do it with the same person. Like we just said, we literally know a lady who has like 9 different children, and they're all amazing children. I think one of them wanted us to be his godparents.
Yeah.
Like, and they have 1,000,000 dogs as well. Come on, guys. I hate having conversations like this. It's disappointing. It's disappointing, and it really makes me just want to like get up on a stage in front of the world and cuss the fucking you people. You know who you are. I want to cuss you all out, and if I could, I'd slap the shit out of all of you as well. It's like, what are we doing? Like, if I could have you guys line up, single file line, just come up to the fucking desk or table, whatever, slap the shit out of you. Next, slap the shit out of you. Like, come on. Be respectful to other people and to yourself. Know your worth. Come on, man. So it's ridiculous.
Well, I think it's just the fact that, guys are never seen as the whores of the world.
Actually,
They just get praised upon.
Yeah, I was having the same exact conversation with, you know, one of my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he kind of brought up that point. He was like, "Oh, I want to find the girl and whatever, but it's just like sometimes along the way you got to have a little fun." I'm like, "Dude, how do you he wants to find a wife so bad. He wants to find somebody to really enjoy life with." I'm like, "Dude, if you want to find that girl, that woman, that wife, you should not be wasting your time with these little side quests and then adding bodies to your count and wasting your energy, your seed on all these different women who ultimately are going you're not even going to care about them the next morning. You're not going to care about them a week from now, a month from now, and God forbid, I always talk about this as well, God forbid you're out here trying to be a whore or a man whore. You're always at risk of disease. You're always at risk of a fuck up, as in pregnancy. Like, come on. Save that shit for when it's meaningful, for when you're ready for it. It's ridiculous to me. I hate excuses from both sides. I don't know which one I hate more, honestly. Which one do you think is worse? Because I'm going to go with that women are the worst ones here.
Why?
Because it's easier to have your legs open than for us trying so hard to get into those legs.
No, it's not.
Literally, you can go outside right now and have your legs open. Some dude will show up. Some dude will sniff it out and be like, I smell open legs.
Yeah, but you...
And if you got them bitches open, he will go in there. But
yeah, but when
say
it comes
I go out
to...
on the town one night, you know how much effort I have to put in? Oh my god, it's not even fair.
Yeah, but the problem, that's not the problem. The problem is that you can have two people who get with the same amount of people, and we're still seen as the whores. You guys aren't.
No, I still say that both are whores. It's just easier for
you.
the woman.
But that's you. Majority of the population.
And they're wrong.
And the whole reason why there's a whole stereotype around it is because that's just the truth. That's what people think. People think that, oh, you're the guy. Who cares? It is what it is. Good for you. And then we're seeing like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're nasty.
Well, because it's just what I said. All you have to do is go outside and open your legs. We actually have to put in effort. Now, unless you come across some self-respecting guy like myself, you will have to put in effort. But for the large part of males, All you gotta do is be like, hey, just put your dingling inside me. Just open your legs. That's all you have to do, and pretty much any guy will be like,
See your nasty toes
okay,
on the viewfinder.
yeah. See my toes, guys.
You're nasty.
But yeah, that's literally all you have to do.
Yeah, I know, but I still think it's.
I
I don't. I don't think that that's.
well, because then what's your justification for a guy being worse?
I just said because it's seen as okay, even though it can be the same amount. You can have 100 bodies, with these two people. It's still going to be seen as okay for the guy because he's a guy. I'm not. I see where you're coming from. Yes, it's very easy for us. I've
Yes,
experienced it. I've done it. It's very
exactly.
easy.
That's why you should
But
know that for a woman, it's definitely worse.
it's not when you put it in the sense of these two people can have the same amount of bodies, but it's okay for the guy. I think
Well,
that's what
I
makes it
don't.
worse. Because it's going to be okay for him no matter what. It doesn't matter
I
how
don't think
easy
so.
it is for us. It's the fact that it's okay for men.
I don't think it is. I mean,
Well,
look, I
yeah,
know
I know
that
you.
I know that the large majority is like, yeah, respected, literally like Barney Stinson.
Exactly.
No,
It's seen as a good thing. You guys are praised for it.
yeah, but I think you should just know, like you within yourself, babe, that it's just like you have to just ignore that shit. We both know what's. We all should know
Well,
what's right or wrong.
yeah, I know that. I'm just
And
saying, like,
ultimately, there's not much we can do to influence the world population on this, but it is. I live at peace with it because look, I'm on my first and only relationship, God willing, and I'm good. I really take no part in these kinds of conversations. Whenever I am engaged, I let it be known what's right and wrong.
well, yeah, I know. I'm just speaking in general terms
Yeah,
because that was just a topic. Because, yeah,
because yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I mean, I I know it's stupid. It is stupid. I don't understand. Or I understand. I just think it's wrong. Sure, it's so cool that you're a guy and you are able to get 100 girls, but you are still disgusting. I hope any one of you dudes out there who participates in this man horrory, man sluttery, yes, that one. If you participate in this activity, and you think it's okay, you're wrong. You are disgusting. Go get checked by the doctor. And fucking, it's the same thing that I would tell a woman whore is fucking, do you even value your own life? Do you value your own body? Like, what are we doing? Who raised you?
no, majority of men don't.
The majority of look, we can go back and forth about who the majority is, but the simple fact of the matter, I actually just saw a post on Instagram earlier that that Florida was voted the worst state to be single in.
Oh, I see. I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
true because it's filled with a bunch of whores everywhere.
exactly. So it's female whores, male whores, everybody's just whoring around. And no matter what gender you think you are, and no matter what sex you actually are, you're wrong and you're disgusting. You know, I'm really surprised this guy is still like snoring through all this.
He's not phased.
Yeah, he really
The
doesn't
man
care
just
for any of our
sleeps,
noise. But
which is
yeah,
great. But
no, it is great. He's really a grandpa. But no, you're all wrong. You are all wrong. You are all disgusting, especially Florida.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no,
Anyways,
it's
that was just a thought that came up because of one podcast,
actually,
and also because of my dream.
since we're talking about this, I saw in at the top of this, TikTok girl cheated on husband with brother.
Oh
Well,
God,
that's
this
horrible.
this came out so long ago.
Yeah,
This definitely should have been brought up like so many podcasts ago, but it was a TikTok that came up on my feed, and it was such a chaotic story. But it was long story short. I'll try to make it long story short because I said long story short our last story and it went on for a little bit. Um, this woman, husband's in the military. Mm.
oh,
She
so do I have something to? Well, actually, I don't have a brother, so never mind.
and I'm not gay, so nothing there. Um, mm.
I'm sure if I was far away from here and Billie Eilish was in the room, something would go wrong.
If she allowed it.
See?
I'm just kidding.
Do you even look?
Shut up. Let me speak. So this woman married to this man. He's in the military. He's far away. He's doing his own thing. She's over it. She's ready to move on. Right?
He's like what? He's on deployment or
Yes. Hmm.
oh, is he's doing his own thing like a he's cheating too kind of thing, or he's just on deployment?
He's. Wait, let me get my facts together. Oh, yes. This gets even messier. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Couple married. Guy's on deployment. Okay, she's back home. She's gonna cheat. Okay.
She's gonna cheat. So
Yes.
do I have something to worry
Hold
about or
on.
not?
Hold
What are we
on.
doing?
Hold on.
She's gonna cheat. It's like
No.
you're talking like it's
No.
some fucking canon event for military wives. You talk about
It
talk about
is.
the military stereotype. We got to talk about the spouse stereotype.
Yeah, you know the amount of comments that I have on my one viral video of like talking about, well, you didn't show the guy in the video.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me tell my TikTok
Okay.
story.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so she's gonna go and cheat. She finds this guy. They start hooking up or whatever. She finally goes over to the house, and then guy that she's hooking up with has family pictures on the wall. She's looking at them. She's browsing. She notices a guy in one of the pictures. Happens to be her husband. And then
How did the brother not know?
she was never talked about. Or she was never.
What the fuck?
She was just never brought up.
How did she not know?
Pictures, things were just like it wasn't a close family.
Jeez.
They were just distant. So that was never brought up. But there's a family picture in this guy's house. So she sees it. She's like, "Oh my god, what the hell is he doing?" And then it finally gets to a point where she needs to bring up in conversation or just like ask questions like, "Hey, who is this?" The guy that she's hooking up with says like, "Oh, that's my brother." But the problem here, aside from her hooking up with her husband's brother, is that in this picture there are kids with said husband. She asked about it. Oh, those are his kids. They don't have kids together.
Oh.
Husband has a whole ass family in the other place that he is now at on deployment.
Oh, so he wasn't on deployment. He was just seeing his family.
Yeah, he has another family while he was with
Hold
this other
on.
woman.
How is he on deployment? You can only get up to like a whole month.
Well, I said deployment.
Oh, so he like what, faked a
He
TDY or something?
He has, yeah. I mean, that's not very hard.
I guess it's not.
You just say, "Hey, I gotta go to this place for work. Sorry."
Yeah.
Turned out the husband actually had a whole other family in this other place while with this one lady, and then the lady just happened to cheat on said husband with his brother.
That's quite unfortunate, but also hilarious.
Yeah, it was a full circle story there. It was really
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I thought that there was going to be a little bit more to talk about there. That's just funny.
No,
honestly.
yeah,
Like,
I wrote that down because it was just funny to bring up.
that's hilarious.
Not really much to speak about there.
Yeah. Damn. Well, he got what was coming to him, and I guess she got what was coming to her as well.
Yeah, that was just a messy situation.
I wonder what happened when he got back, and she was like, because how does she even? Because she's not in. They're both just wrong.
Yeah,
I think at that point you just kind of sit down and you're like, yeah, this is over.
Yeah, I wish I kept up with it, but this was literally so long ago. I wrote this down. I don't even know when.
Yeah,
but,
that's been on this the notes app for a while on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't, because he can't come home from his quote unquote TDY or deployment, and then she can't sit up there and be like, oh my god, how could you, blah blah blah. Okay,
no, yeah, they're
cheated.
definitely both in the wrong here.
Yeah, no, like,
definitely more him though because he has a whole ass family.
Oh well, no,
and the brother was just like hooking up because she just wanted to get some.
Yeah.
You know.
that's just one of those like the lesser of two evils. But either way, you're both wrong. So I really wish I could have been in the room for that conversation or argument, however it turned out, because realistically, that should have just been a yeah. Let's let's just goodbye.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that that was a huge heated argument.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to see if I can find
Yeah.
some more videos on that.
Well, that was funny. I've been seeing that one on the notes app for such a long time. Like, what the fuck is this? No better time to bring it up than now, I guess.
I gotta pee.
What? We were about to start our ending questions.
Yes. Potty break before ending questions.
Actually, I have to pee too.
Okay. Potty break. On to our ending questions here.
We're back.
Oh, yes. We are back from our potty break.
Yeah. So first ending question.
Oh, just a disclaimer. Since, we just came out of our wedding anniversary, these questions are more relationship related. Yeah.
Why did you need a disclaimer for that?
I don't know. Just want to point it out there.
Sure.
Because that's why I picked these questions.
Okay. What's a small thing I do that you love?
You can answer first?
Ladies first.
Ugh. I needed time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
How do you pick these questions and you still need time?
Because I try not to really think about it, so in that way I have a genuine answer for the podcast.
You can have a genuine answer without thinking about it.
I don't know. I don't really put much thought. Anyways, what was the question again?
What's a small thing I do that you love?
Oh. Well, it's hard to pick out or what's considered small because I don't know if this is really considered small.
Just your definition of small.
Small bean. I don't know. I think it's
Well, that's what you want to hear. I don't know.
well because I have a lot of things going through my head, but I just don't think they're considered small because essentially you just kind of do everything for me that I love. So it's hard to say like what's a small thing. um I guess the small things are just like remembering as much as you can about certain stuff that I say, and then you get it for me. Like, you don't have the best memory, but like, you'll remember small things here and there.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's me genuinely remembering or me remembering
Well,
just like in the
I might have to take that answer back.
in the heat of conversation. I'm like, oh shit.
Actually, I'm gonna change my answer. A small thing that I love, I think, is like you always make sure I'm included. Or like, I don't know, I'm just always like thrown in there in conversations or just like in literally anything. Because I came out of a relationship where I was basically hidden
Yes. I
and wasn't really brought up
yeah.
intentionally.
Every opportunity I get, I try to include DNA. I do try to include you for sure. Usually, whenever I'm like, when just random conversations pop up at work, like when you get back from the weekend on a Monday or a long weekend. Oh, how is it? Me and VNA, or we. I'm always talking about we.
Yeah.
I'm always speaking French.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say that's the biggest thing.
I love even just unwarranted, even like on a fucking random Wednesday or like on a Thursday. I'll just go up to one of my friends at work, just be like, hey, just talk about you.
Yeah, that's mainly what I'm talking about. Like not so much like people like directly asking where I could be included. It's more of like you choose to just
Yeah,
do it.
I just talk about you at work a pretty good amount. Um, yeah, I think that's a valid one right there. Uh, another thing I do. I mean, I don't know how anybody else would look at this. I've been frowned upon in the past, but I don't really care. Is you know the boys, they'll be like, oh, let's do this, or why don't we have a boys' night out kind of thing. And you know, in high school, I was really like one of the boys, and a lot of the times, I'm not gonna lie, I do have my urges, like, oh, I do miss that. But like, no amount of brotherhood, I think, can ever really make up for the best friendship that I have in my wife. And like I said, I do have my strong urges. I would love to just have one of those dumb nights with the boys, playing video games or just doing dumb boy shit. But I like my best friend even better. So, y'all can say what you want. Oh, he's fucking. What are they called? Oh, what's it
Hmm?
called? He's he's whipped.
Oh,
They
well, that's what
some
I was
people have,
thinking of.
yeah, some people have said that about me before. Oh, he's whipped. She doesn't let him do anything. Oh, he's a bitch. She wears the pants. Like, dude, I can realistically, if I really really wanted to that bad, I could just be like, you know what? I'm going out with the boys tonight. There's nothing she could do. And to be fair, I think I'm well within my rights to do that because there have been plenty of girls' nights for you. It's just I don't know, you take more action on it. And as much as I might want to do it sometimes, I like having you there. Even more than whatever dumb shit I might get up to with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that I was doing girls' night things was, well, I think it was really only maybe once in Alaska, once or twice. Actually, no, it was once because the second time I was like, "Hey, come." Like I would much rather do things with him there. I don't care for
Yeah.
being
It's
by myself.
yeah, I mean you're kind of the same as like you would rather me be there and like you just said, actually there were multiple, like definitely more than two times, a lot of times in Alaska where your coworkers they'd invite you out, and initially, sometimes the night would start off as just you there. But then, like an hour
Oh,
or two
well, yeah.
later, you're begging me to come, and then also all your girls are begging me to come. Like,
Yeah, like I would rather just like yeah, it's fun, to have your friends or whatever do your thing, but at the end of the night, like I don't care to be there by myself, especially in like a party club scene. I'd rather do that knowing that I'm safe for one thing. And also like I have a better time
yeah.
having him there.
And no matter how many times I've been called whipped or whatever, and whenever the boys want to do boy things, somehow it always works out in my favor where I'm like, well, I'm not going to go unless I can bring VNA. And then it's usually just like all right, fine. Then everybody just kind of brings their girl. Or it's just like me and VNA with the boys. Like, she's usually just always there because I like having her there. It's just more fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thankfully I think on both sides the like friendship is there no matter what. Like it's not awkward. Like
Yeah.
I've been in situations before where it's like you try to have one person on with one friend group or vice versa, and then it's just awkward because like connection isn't there. It's not really, what's the word, I don't know, they just don't know how to get along, or
Yeah.
like different kind of personalities. But thankfully he gets along very well with my people, and I get along really good with his all of both guy friends, or
Yeah.
both um group of boys.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm always just kind of there.
yeah, that's another reason why I liked you as far as qualities for being my wife is that you're not really a girl's girl. So
Yeah.
obviously you're a woman. You can be a girl at times,
Yeah, I
you know.
can be, but if
But
I'm
you're
choosing to hang
also
out with people, I will choose boys no
yeah,
matter
she
what.
will choose to hang out with guys and like she could easily just be one of the boys. Like that's why I like bringing her around because all my guy friends, like all my boys, they love her because and even especially the military ones because there's been a lot of conversations where they're like, "Damn, like we could never guess that, you're a civilian."
Yeah.
Like they just like her because she fits in well with the vibe. And you might call me emasculate for this, but if I really really need to, like on those nights where I'll drop her off, Then a few hours later, her and the girls will be like, "No, Felipe, please come." Like, if I really need to, I could be one of the girls for a night. I could be there and vibe with the girls.
Oh yeah, always. He was always talking with the girls.
Yeah, and they all love me. All your friends in Alaska, I quite missed them. That was good.
Yeah, so do I.
That was a good group right there.
Yeah.
There were some good girls, but yeah, no, that was why I liked her to be my wife, is that she can hang out with the boys, and I know that I have that quality within myself to hang out with the girls. So it's more fun for the both of us that way, I believe.
Yeah. And we also just luck out that either one of us can be with either friend groups and it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely super important, being able to hang out with friends. Next question we got: besides cheating and lying, what destroys a relationship?
I like this question because those are the two things that you always focus on when it comes to relationships. So I really wanted to hear your side of that. Because that's obviously like the two main things in a relationship. Like that's what's going to break it. But aside from those two, what's also important to have?
Um, I can't pick between the two, so I'm gonna go with both. Is a lack of common sense, i.e., no brain.
Wait, what does that mean?
Because this is a conversation that I have with the same coworker at work about him and his girl problems. Is that there's just especially nowadays, those self-righteous, three brain cell, nothing like lights are on but nobody's home kind of girls. Like, they're pretty, they got all the looks, they got the body. There's just not much happening. Like, when you try to talk to them, they will not engage.
Mm.
So, common sense and just the general brain.
This guy's having bad dreams.
Yeah, he's a, or he's those. That's definitely a big turnoff for me. Like, if I try to have a intimate or like a deep conversation, that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with you in the first place. You remember all those nights we'd be sitting in your backyard or the other backyard or the other backyard.
Just anywhere ever.
Yeah, anywhere ever, through text, on Snap, in my car, whenever we'd go out on our dates. Like, you're that's another thing that I liked, is your open mindedness to conversations. If you don't have an open mind, how the fuck can I talk to you?
Yeah.
So, like, when I start talking about like multiverse stuff or like nerd shit, like, yeah, you weren't that big of a fan of it when you first moved to Alaska, because I wanted to watch. I was so excited to get to watch Star Wars and Marvel with you, and you're like, no, no, no. That is one of the other kind of arguments things that we had when you first got there, is that I was so willing to watch your bullshit cowgirl or the
Cowgirl?
cowgirls, the cowboys,
Cowboys?
the dancers, all those dumb
Oh,
reality
that
shows.
came out today. Sorry.
Yeah, all your dumb reality shows that I will sit there and like pay attention to, and even if I don't like it, I will give my time, because I'm like, this is an
Yeah,
activity for her.
that is something that's important. It's not so much like, no, you do not need to like the same things that your partner likes, but
No,
you do need to be open and just kind of accept. And, obviously, you guys need to know your limits. Don't push it so much. But, like,
yeah,
eventually, you're just going to fall into it. And then you guys just find your way of how to go about things.
yeah, and like you just have to be able to ultimately. Oh, I guess that's another thing, a third thing, compromise. If Because that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, right? If you wait until you're like 30, in your 30s, to try and get in a relationship, a marriage, have kids, like, you're already set in your way of life by that point.
Yeah, that
That's
is
why
tough.
I liked our young union, because we can share experiences. We can do a lot of firsts. We can share.
We learn together.
Yeah, we learn everything together. And you're set in your way at life at 30, and then you have one perspective or opinion, the other person has another, and it's just like, now you're going back and forth. Again, I'm not trying to shit on the older people that get together obviously that works out for a lot, but it also fails for a lot. And on the other side of the coin, our situation fails and succeeds. I just think this is the way.
I
um,
mean, it is somewhat easier because, like you said, you're learning together. So it's not so
yeah,
much like it's, harsh standpoints on both sides, like, okay, let's figure this out together.
yeah,
And then you stick with that, and then you keep on doing that. It's not so much like, well, I think this and you think that, and that's just how we've thought for the past 20 years of our life. And now you're not really open or willing to look into anything else other than what you think.
yeah. I think open mindedness. I mean, the common sense slash having a brain thing is just like you're either stupid or you're stupid. I don't know. That one isn't so important to me. I mean, it is important because those first impressions, you're gonna tell immediately if they're stupid or not. But like,
I guess that also depends on the person. Like if you're
yeah,
not a very communicative, is that
communicative.
yeah, that word. If you're not like that in general, where you just don't care to have conversations like that, then fine, that's probably not a big deal to you. But we are very big on conversations and
Yeah,
just talk
be open minded.
24/7.
Mm-hmm. Be open minded. Just I don't know, man. Be cool. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
What for you is I guess a destroys a relationship deal breaker?
Um, I mean, everything that you said was pretty valid, but I was thinking of more of like keeping that spark alive, like always, like you're still trying to date the person. Like just because you're married doesn't mean that you stop doing all the things that you might have done within like the
Oh,
first few months of dating. Like you still want to do those small things to, keep that spark there.
yeah.
Otherwise, your relationship just gets boring.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's maybe a better answer. What I was saying was probably more towards like the initial, like when you're getting to know somebody kind of thing. Because
I mean, it's still valid.
no, it is. It's just like you come across those kind of qualities when you're first meeting. Because I'm not gonna go much farther than the first or second, maybe even third date if I'm like trying to talk and it's just like nothing's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you are in the relationship, what can destroy it definitely is just like letting shit fizzle out.
Mhm.
Definitely don't want that to happen. I mean, once a month, or I guess really twice a month, and almost basically every weekend. Goddamn, I I take you out on a
Oh,
dinner. We go eat some sushi. We go eat
we do
somewhere
go
you
out
like
every
to eat.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And it's not like we go out every single meal of the weekend, by the way.
No, just for dinner.
Yeah, just for dinner. And sometimes it's a Saturday. Usually it falls more on a Saturday. Yeah, it falls
Mhm.
more on a Saturday. Sundays we just stay at home, get groceries. But yeah, I try to take her out every single weekend, but then specifically, on the 17th for our monthly wedding anniversary, on the 28th for our monthly being together anniversary.
Yeah.
I try to do a little bit extra, you know, get her Starbucks that morning or just be nicer. I'm still a bully, but I'll be nicer. Like
Mhm.
2%.
Mhm. You still acknowledge it. I guess that
Yes.
also falls into the small thing that I love
Yes.
that you do.
I still acknowledge it because you know me, guys. I've always said this, and I'll keep saying it till the day I die.
And you get this on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I might
we
have to put it on a t-shirt.
need to start branding this
Yeah,
shit.
you will not get those monthly, biannually, annually, five or what's five? What's the word for 5 years? I don't think that's a
I don't
thing.
think it's a thing.
Dec dec
Century? Decade?
Centuries, a
Oh,
hundred, you
my bad.
idiot.
I meant decade.
Every 5 years, every 10 years, every however many years you last, you don't get there without celebrating that extra month because honestly, we might even have to start celebrating every single day because relationships end every day.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to get at, guys. Without the smaller milestones, you don't get the bigger ones. So I think it's important, you know, whether you're like me and you want to celebrate the wedding and the being together, or just At some point, we're probably gonna get rid of. We're gonna do away with the being together. It's just we're kind of waiting for the wedding years to get up
I was
there.
gonna say at that point, the next date would just be whenever we get married,
Yeah,
or like, well, no, we are married. Actually, now that I think about it, are we even gonna count that the day that we get married again?
I don't think so. I think the way I've always thought of that is that's more for like our family and friends that didn't get to participate when we got married.
I guess so,
But
because I
that's
mean,
really what it is.
we are legally married,
Yeah,
so
we're already
that's
legally
forever
binded.
gonna.
I'm getting paid like I'm married. You're literally in my house every day. Like we're married, okay? I have a
No,
ring on my
yes,
finger. You have rings on yours. Like
yeah, no, we're not saying at all that we're not married. I just meant in a way I didn't really think about it, like when we have our big wedding because we didn't have one. If that would even be counted as like a little anniversary date, but
no,
no, we are legally married,
no.
and
I've
yeah,
always seen that big ceremony down the road as a as somewhat of a formality, not for us, for our family and friends.
that's my day.
98% of which did not, or 99% of which did not get to participate because of COVID mostly.
Yes,
If
it's
it was
also
up
my
to
day.
us, we could have had a fair amount of people there, but we were only allowed five.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna count our June 17th as the day. The other one
Yeah.
is just for fun.
I mean, yeah, legally that is what it is. So
Yeah. And no, at some point, like I said, we're gonna do away with the being together. Like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate maybe like the bigger milestones at some point because right now, this year, we're kind of coming up on 4 years.
yeah,
But I mean, I don't. Should we even do anything? Like, I don't know. I think at this point we should just do like the 5, 10.
yeah. I mean, it's just acknowledged a little Starbucks Day. That's about it. But our wedding anniversary is kind
Yeah,
of more of when we go full out
yeah.
for
That's
stuff.
definitely the bigger one. Yeah. Let's see. Our last ending question before we dip out of here. Have some dinner. Actually, it's getting about that time. What's your biggest fear about our future? Ladies first.
Um, I think it's more about not so much like us specifically. Well, maybe actually, let me take everything back.
Jeez.
um, because my initial response was going to be more for like our kids specifically because we are a military family and there isn't too much stability with that. You are going to move every so often. Um, even though we are going to try to get them in a permanent spot for as long as possible. But I think aside from that is also just because we most likely are going the distance, you'll be a little more involved in having to leave a little bit more often. So aside from kids, I think like how things are going to be with us.
I really don't worry about that. I mean, we've already done and fully understand the long distance thing.
But I
We are
think
we are infinitely different people
no, I know, but I think it's
from that
more
time.
of like because we haven't been in a situation after that point.
Well, we got one coming up.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's in the same time zone, but
That's what
like,
I'm but the timing isn't what I'm worried about. It's more of like we yes, we've experienced it before and like we know what happened and we know how to deal with it and like now we're in a good spot, but because we haven't been in that position again, I'm curious to see if things are gonna go back to how they were or if it's just gonna be the same. Because we are gonna be back in a long distance time frame. This time it's only gonna be, a very short amount of time. But like later on, you will be in more situations where you'll probably be away more often and longer,
um,
and wonder if that's just gonna bring up things again.
I don't. I mean, anything. I don't know what things you're referring to, but anything I can think of being brought up again, we've squashed that 100 million times over. Anything that could possibly be brought up. I don't like. I wouldn't be curious about that. Literally, like, just I don't know. That's not a very long conversation for me. Like we've done this before. It is what it is. Yeah, it's gonna be an extra like hoop to jump through with kids and trying to raise them, and I don't think our relationship would be affected that much. There's really nothing to worry about. I would worry more about the kids.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would worry about more the family aspect rather than our individual relationship because we know how to navigate that. And any issues that could come up, like I said, we've pretty much squashed everything a million times over.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes next month.
Sure. I mean, I've already told you my plan. I'm not doing shit. I have a PT test to be ready for, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything. Um, I think my biggest fear would be kind of what I just said, the kid portion of it, because obviously I am bound to be on TDYs. I am bound to be on deployments. Luckily, I haven't been picked for one yet, but I mean, if I'm gonna be going the distance, I will have my share. My only worry is, I don't know, are children possibly resenting me for being away? I hate the idea of that. I mean,
I don't think it's at that.
because that
Because,
happened. I mean, I literally just volunteered at the elementary school not too long
well,
ago,
yeah.
and like shit like that happens, especially when it's a dual a, what do they call it?
Dual mill.
Dual mill to mill
Mill to mill.
marriage. If both parents are on TDY or both parents are deployed, or even if they're both here, they literally drop you off at school and fuck off for pretty much the rest of the day. And even if they're both here, but they're both on different schedules, one could be on days, one could be on swings, one could be on
Well, yeah,
mids.
that's a different situation.
I mean, either way,
That's,
it's still affecting the family because one's there, one's not.
yeah.
Potentially,
I mean, there will it's bound to happen. Things will happen
yeah,
with
things will
kids.
happen. I just hope that, you know, our kids don't hate me for it.
I don't think they'll hate you. I mean, they're definitely gonna be sad, and you miss a lot. But
Yeah, well, I guess that's more specifically what I'm trying to say is I hope that the sadness doesn't turn into hate because it's very easy for a child to, swing from one directly into the other, or they might get the emotions confused.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my one fear. But I mean, I honestly, as much as I fear about it, I'm super duper confident that it's not going to turn out in the extreme worst that I fear about. We'll be fine. You and I will be fine. I pray that me and the kids will be fine. It's all good. I don't really have very many fears. I'm always
Alrighty.
confident. Yeah.
Well, we are gonna wrap it up, folks. That was our last question.
Here.
Um, Stay tuned next week for our Dolomites videos. They will be coming out.
Yes. Again, I apologize. I've already explained. I wanted to enjoy my wedding anniversary. I wasn't gonna take up half the day trying to edit a video.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I had views and people to spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for our viewers. For those listening to us on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. Um, and yeah,
We'll see you Tuesday.
we will see you Tuesday for our first Dolomite video.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's a combination of day one and day two.
That would make sense.
Yes.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys later.
Ciao.
Bye.